Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We're going from Houston to Mexico City. The Boeing 777-300ER GE 115 Bravo. I guess that's the engine types. The GE 115 Bravo. Anyway, let's get in here, get the plane started up. It's going to be about, I'm going to guess it's going to be close to a 3-hour flight today. So, I think we'll advance the time just a bit. Just we have a bit of a sunrise, maybe, sort of thing. We're going to have some broken clouds. We're not using the live weather, but we'll just fly with the broken clouds on. And, so there we go. For anyone who was looking for me yesterday to fly, I do apologize. I had to take care of some other things, and it just wasn't feeling like streaming yesterday, so, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Let's get that minimized for right now. Let's not let... Oops. There we go. Alright, let's get this thing going. Oh, it's already... That's interesting. Well, this is kind of screwed up somehow. Well, oh well. It's already light out, so I don't have to adjust anything as far as the time goes. Alright. Battery. External power on while we get things started up. Fuel flowing. APU started up. Air engine bleed on. So we can get those going. All right, let's talk to ATC, get our clearance.
Houston clearance delivery UA1085 Heavy IFR to Mexico City, ready to copy.
UA1085 Heavy is cleared to Mexico City Airport as filed. Take off runway 15 right climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.5,000.
6065. Oh, that doesn't seem...
UA1085 Heavy acknowledge last transmission.
UA1085 Heavy cleared to Mexico City Airport as filed. Take off runway 15 right climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 119.7 squawk 6065.
UA1085 Heavy readback is correct. Contact ground on 119.95 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Houston ground, UA 1085 Heavy with Yankee ready to taxi IFR.
UA 1085 Heavy taxi to and hold short at runway 15 right via taxiway November Bravo, November Delta, November Charlie, Whiskey, Whiskey, cross runway tree right, Whiskey, 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 Papa Whiskey Charlie. Contact tower on 125.3, fire when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 15 right via taxiway November Bravo, November Delta, November Charlie, Whiskey, Whiskey, cross runway tree right, Whiskey, 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 Papa Whiskey Charlie, UA 1085 Heavy.
Okay, we got all that. Let's get our push back. Oops.
Houston ground, UA 1085 Heavy requesting pushback.
UA 1085 Heavy pushback request accepted.
Good morning, Mick. How are you? Nice to see you here. I think we can dial in 208 here. Oh, somebody else is lurking with you. Is the 300 ER, as it says in the description there, in every way.
Houston ground, UA 1085
Right in the title,
requesting
I can
pushback
assure
time
you.
to steer the aircraft to the left.
Well, it wasn't exactly a enjoyable day off. It was, I had to take care of some stuff, and then I had to, yeah, by the time I was dealing with everything, it was just, I wasn't going to have time to stream and everything, so it was kind of nice not to worry about it.
Heavy request to end pushback received.
So, yeah, it was, I was taking care of other things I didn't expect to have to take care of, but it's all good. Cut the corner here a little bit. So, quick reminder: tomorrow we will be going live. We'll be going live earlier than normal. Try to get this flight done from Islamabad to Multan in the A320. So we're going to go live at about 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Hello, EasyJet 4345, the animator. Okay. Hello. Uh, okay, we're almost to our runway there. So this aircraft unfortunately has a bit of a reputation in the flight sim community. The Captain Sim planes have a bad reputation. Captain Sim overall, I think, does. Many people feel that it's how dare you spend your money on such a load of garbage. I don't mind it. I know people have their opinions about this airplane, especially, you know, the way I look at it on the Xbox side, we don't have a lot of options when it comes to jetliner stuff. So this was a viable option until we start seeing more things in the marketplace available. You know, we're limited in our choices. So, was it supposed to be 1.5? Oh shoot! It was supposed to be 1.5 left. Why did this? How did I pick the wrong runway? Thank you, Chris Fan, for the subscription. Hello, Real Italian. Can I get a few thumbs up, please? If you guys are going to come in and hang out, I'd greatly appreciate, you know, a little bit of love from you. I mean, I don't think I'm asking for too much there. We may have to restart this one because I think I picked the wrong... I thought I picked the right one, but apparently I picked the wrong runway for takeoff. This runway is... oh... Actually, you know what? We're just going to swing back around and line up for... I don't think we can, actually. Hold on a second. Oh, come on. Plane, stop. We might have to restart this one. yeah, we're just going to have to restart this. I apologize. I totally filed the wrong flight plan. That's great, EasyJet. Very happy to hear that. In the live, hold on a second. Why is the time not correct? All right, maybe now we can do it this way. Yeah, I totally picked the wrong runway for takeoff. That's the right one. Okay. That's the right one. Okay, let's try this again. Well, I guess we'll try it with the weather on. Oh. All right, let's try this again. Engines are started up. Let's get all finished getting our lights on. All right, let's go to
Houston clearance delivery UA1085 Heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to Mexico City.
UA1085 Heavy is cleared to Mexico City Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 15 left climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 123.8 squawk 0705.
UA1085 Heavy cleared to Mexico City Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 15 left climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 123.8 squawk 0705.
UA1085 Heavy, read back correct. Contact ground on 118.575. Good day.
Houston ground, UA 1085 Heavy with Yankee ready to taxi IFR.
UA 1085 Heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 15 left using taxiway November Bravo November Delta November Charlie Whiskey Whiskey. Contact tower on 127.3 when ready.
Okay, there we go.
Taxi to and hold short runway 15 left via taxiway November Bravo November Delta November Charlie Whiskey Whiskey UA 1085 Heavy. Houston ground, UA 1085 Heavy requesting pushback.
UA 1085 Heavy pushback request accepted.
Alright, while we're pushing back a minute, I'm going to just change the time ever so slightly. There we go, that'll work. Alright. Alright, here's the thing, folks. If you're going to come in and hang out and watch my stream, can you at least give me a little bit of thumbs up, please and thank you? I don't think I'm asking too much for that. I enjoy flying and I want to share this, but at least give me, show me a bit of love. I don't think I'm asking for too much. Doesn't cost you anything. Showing a bit of appreciation doesn't cost you a dime. Thank you. I mean, I kind of guess that a lot of you watch streams on a regular basis, or you stream yourself. So, if you already know, okay. Thank you, Dielson.
Houston ground, UA 1085 Heavy requesting the end of pushback.
UA 1085 Heavy request to end pushback received.
I don't know where all y'all came from all of a sudden, but I do appreciate the 8 viewers. I had 11 there for just a moment ago. Okay, Kevin. Alright, at least now we've got the right runway, the correct runway, not the right runway, the correct runway. Alright, so we're going to have to pay attention to our altimeter readings. And we come into... Okay. Oops. Alright, now we're on our way. Hopefully, everybody said that the live weather has been fixed, but we shall see once we start climbing up to flight level 420 if we have any major issues along the way. Alright.
Houston Tower UA 1085 Heavy at runway 15 left, ready for departure IFR to Mexico City.
UA 1085 Heavy, altimeter 29.87 wind calm. Cleared for takeoff, runway 15 left.
Okay.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 15 left, UA 1085 Heavy.
Okay, let's get that on. Flight director is on now. And let's see what else. I think that's all we need. Away we go. Oops. Wow. This thing's like wanting to go all over the place. All right.
UA1085 heavy contact departure on 123.8. Good day.
123.8 UA1085 heavy. Departure UA1085 heavy is at 1,100 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
UA1085 heavy departure altimeter 29.87, continue to skim as planned.
And away we go. All right, finally we are airborne. 14 viewers, thank you all for coming in. Please do leave a thumbs up. Greatly appreciated.
UA1085 heavy contact Houston Center on 120.4. Good day.
120.4 for UA1085 heavy. Houston Center UA1085 heavy is passing 7,800 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Alright, let's go ahead.
UA1085 heavy Houston Center altimeter 29.89, continue to skim as planned.
Our waypoint is called Scam. That's awesome. Alright. So we're going to use the FLC mode to go through our altitudes per the direction of the ATC. We should be getting close to getting, I think we'll go up to flight level 240 or something like that next.
UA1085 heavy climb to maintain flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level 200 UA1085 heavy.
So we're going to climb out this way, we're heading west, and then we'll turn south for Mexico City here in a moment. Matter of fact, we can probably kind of look to see when we're going to do that. That's kind of like coming up right now. Nope, not yet. There we go. So this is basically our departure sequence, climbing up the departure phase of the flight. So we're going to go kind of western, almost, and then we'll be a bit southwest, and then we'll turn to the south. Alright, I am going to step away for just a moment while we're still climbing out. I'll be right back.
UA-1085 Heavy, contact Houston Center on 119.175. Good day.
119.175 UA-1085 Heavy. Houston Center UA-1085 Heavy is passing flight level 185, climbing flight level 200.
UA-1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue to effect OAM as planned.
Alright, got back just in time. We'll go up to another altitude here in just a moment.
UA-1085 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 UA-1085 Heavy.
Hold on a second. There we go. We need to be going a lot faster than we are right now. And we need to change that to standard. There we go. All right. So we should go to 420, I believe, from here. I see we have our first coward of the day posting their garbage in my chat. That's awesome. Good stuff. Well, maybe the live weather has been fixed again. Curious to see if anything.
UA1085 heavy contact Houston Center on 120.4. Good day.
Any updates or anything comes out today.
For UA1085 heavy.
Be till sometime this evening, East Coast time.
Heavy is passing flight level 260, climbing flight level 300.
UA1085 heavy Houston Center continue to Newark as planned.
Manure. That's our next waypoint. Essentially is called manure. That's awesome.
UA1085 heavy contact Houston Center on 132.15. Good day.
Going to 132.15 UA1085 heavy. Houston Center UA1085 heavy is passing flight level 295, climbing flight level 300.
UA1085 heavy Houston Center continue to marks as planned.
That's the one in front of us. Should be going.
UA1085
There we
heavy
go.
climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb and maintain flight level 380 UA1085 heavy.
Alright, so let me make a note of our. I don't expect it to be the same down in Mexico, but what did I do? Pen. Just had it last night. must have dropped it somewhere. Find my pen. I gotta make a note of that altimeter reading when we took off. There it is. So we'll use that as our base when we start to descend into Mexico City. So we have the seatbelt sign, but we cannot let the flight attendants know when to start the cabin service. The other thing is the radio screens do not work. So if something were to happen, if we had a system failure, we would not be able to tune the radio ourselves, I don't believe. Uh, 300ER is better approach. I guess I suppose, I don't really know. I couldn't say for sure if that was the case or not. So like what we normally do, we will wait as we come into Mexico City, the airport there. We'll wait for the diamonds to line up across the bottom. We'll hit our localizer mode. And then when the diamonds line up here on the right side, in the middle, we'll hit the ILS or the approach mode. And then that should bring us in on our ILS approach there on runway 05 right. And we should be all set for that. Alright, any moment now we should go all the way to 420.
UA1085 heavy climb and maintain flight level 420.
There we go.
Climb and maintain flight level 420 UA1085 heavy.
A320 is not that bad. Whereupon, yeah, it's fairly simple. Now I don't know which one are you flying on, the Xbox version or are you flying on the PC version? Now I'm on the Xbox and I can land the A320 if I don't get my approach mode to lock in or anything like that. I can still land it manually. It's not that bad of a plane to fly, but if you're using the PC version, I would imagine maybe there's more the flying, what's it called, fly-by-wire version on the PC, I think is a little bit more in depth than the one that we have here on the Xbox, so yeah. It's not that difficult. It just takes, you just got to practice with it and just You know, if things don't go according to plan, you should still be able to land it. My mod Mick will tell you there's been quite a few times where things have kind of failed, and I go ahead and set it down.
125.65 for UA1085
It's
Heavy.
possible.
Houston Center UA1085 Heavy is passing flight level 400, climbing flight level 420.
UA1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue to MARCS as planned.
All right. That marker there should be our point where we turn towards Mexico City. Okay, let's have a look. Let's zoom out just a bit here. Got one more. So we got to go to SAT. And once we get to there, then we're going to head towards Mexico City. Yep, exactly, Mick. Mick has seen it for himself. My advice for anybody who's new to the jetliner sort of stuff, especially if you're on Xbox, there is a tutorial that was done by a real A320 pilot. Shows the startup procedures and the taxi out, takeoff, all that stuff. And if you go through that a couple times, no matter what happens, if you have a system failure of some kind, you should be able to land the plane within reason. So it is possible. You just have to know. Well, it's not that you have to know anything, it's just that you have to trust that you've done it enough times with the systems on that you can know roughly what speeds you need to be at. And just because these screens go off, you still have the other information that you could still land the plane. Now, if you have all that off, then yeah, you're kind of going to be 3 sheets to the wind, and you're not going to know what's really happening. Oh, there is an airport down there.
UA1085 Heavy, contact Houston Center on 120.6. Good day.
So
Going to 120.6 UA.
I highly recommend that. Not that I get anything out of it, but I highly recommend it because it gives you all the... Hello, Amela. It gives you kind of all the procedures, essentially. You know, when to do certain things, when to figure out, you know. And as the pilot says during the tutorial, he said all this stuff, you can use it to know how to fly, you know, any situation you find yourself in. If you apply the stuff that he tells you in the tutorial, you can't go wrong. So yeah, I highly recommend that. If you're just getting into the sim, even if you're on the PC side, it should be in the marketplace. It's well worth it. You get a lot of good information. So, yeah, you can't go wrong there. So, I highly recommend it. And again, I'm not a paid spokesperson or anything like that. I'm just telling you that going through that before you start to fly the A320, go through it. Go through it as many times as you need to, and just keep practicing those procedures, and you'll be fine. You can't go wrong. Don't just look at my videos, or don't just take people's videos. You know, I know I can do it, but don't just take my word for it. Go get those tools that help you. And I know most people don't want to do it because I guess I can't open that table. It says I can, but I can't. Yeah. Go. It's well worth the effort. You'll learn a lot. And like I said, it's all stuff that you can apply to any plane that you're flying. So there's my spiel. It's called Jetliner Academy. There is you can get it'll give you the website. You can go there and you can download the documentation that you can read it over and go through everything step by step. Can't go wrong. How are you, Amela? How are things in the city? Hopefully you are well. Imagine you're having your pre-breakfast breakfast. All right, so we should be turning left and heading south here any moment now. And we should be over the Gulf of Mexico, I believe. We shouldn't be too far from it already. There's Randolph Air Force Base. So yeah, there's the Gulf of Mexico is just off in the distance, I think, a bit. We may kind of skirt the edge of it. But we're going to fly over water for sure. I know for at least a small portion of the flight, I do believe. Maybe not. Oh, there's San Antonio International. I've been there. But when I start takeoff to the land, but it happened, autopilot does not start. Okay, so you cannot use the autopilot for takeoff. No, that's not how it works. You have to do the takeoff yourself. Okay? You have to taxi out, throttle it up, get in the air. Once you're airborne and you've got a good rate of climb, then you can put on the autopilot. Then you throttle back to the CL mode on the throttle. Okay? Then the auto throttle takes over. All you got to do is manage the altitude from there on. Whatever altitude the ATC says to climb to, you dial it into the altitude thing, hit the I think you hit the X button, and it'll climb to that altitude. And then when you're starting to come in for your approach, you got to call in and request the reduction in altitude. Okay, it's the autopilot. It's not going to do that themselves. So you got to. Those are the things that you have to manage during the flight. The autopilot won't do everything. What I do is I keep the autopilot on once we're lined up for the approach. I keep it on almost until we're about 100 or so, a couple hundred feet from the runway or over the ground. I disengage the autopilot, and then we glide in, or we still descend in, and then I go. You hit the A and B button together. That will throttle you all the way back. Do that about less than 100 feet off the ground. you'll land. There you go. Yeah, it was cold here yesterday. We thought we were going to have a bit warmer weather, so I didn't dress nearly as warm as I should have, so it was a bit chilly yesterday. I'm doing okay. Physical therapy really, boy, she really worked me over yesterday. Oh, luckily I saw the massage therapist right afterwards, but yeah, it was, and I've been drinking water. I drank water yesterday when I got home. I've been, and before I went to bed, and I'm still a little bit sore, but the physical therapist said drink plenty of water and you won't be as sore, but I guess I still didn't drink enough. But yeah, you can't rely on autopilot to do everything. Okay, that's not. I mean, if I thought that was the best way to do it as well when I first started flying on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Everybody, if you look in the forums, everybody will tell you, do not trust the autopilot to do everything, and you have to be able to do a lot of things. You have to basically there's San Antonio. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. So there's another, oh, that should be, that's Harmony Fields, but I think that should be the Lackland should be right there, I believe. And there's 2 Air Force bases here. Stinson Municipal. Yeah, there was at least, I know there's 2 Air Force bases. I think we flew over one of them was Randolph, and the other one's Lackland. Anyway. Well, like, that was part of the thing when I got the physical therapy for my shoulders. My doctor said, let's also get you signed up for massage therapy as well. So like yesterday, my traps were just got a real workout. So the massage therapist kind of went in there, didn't dig in a lot, but just, try to help relax those muscles. Hello, spam. Thank you. But anyway, yeah. So kind of going, I don't mean to keep harping on what you said, Werifon, but yeah, don't rely, just go through the work, do the work, as I always like to say. You got to do the work. It may not be like the most, it's going to take a bit of work to learn and get comfortable with everything, but it's not hard taking off. All you got to do is throttle it up. And then when it says to pull back on the stick to go airborne, you just pull back gently on that left thumbstick on the Xbox, or pull back on your yoke if you have one of those, and you'll be fine. And you just get airborne, and once you got a positive rate of climb, you put up the gear, and then you engage your autopilot system, and then on the A320 you got that little notch that says CL. You throttle back to that, auto throttle takes over, and you are good to go. And all, like I said, all you got to do is, put in your altitudes, and you'll be fine. And then when you start descending, like you'll see when we go into Mexico, it'll say, it'll start to show a decrease in altitude. All you got to do is call in and say, request to go to here. If they say no, then don't do it. But if they say yes, then you dial in the lesser altitude, you hit the X button, and then everything will start to fall into place. The other thing you'll have to manage is your speed. And if you go through that Jetliner Academy, it will tell you, on these altitudes you need to be at this speed, and you got to start dropping your flaps and everything. It's not that difficult. It's just you just got to manage that stuff, but the plane will do the work otherwise. But you can't think that the plane's going to do all the work for you. Okay, you got to have some input, because otherwise you're just might as well you're playing an arcade game if you're letting the plane do everything. I mean, I can't fly this plane manually all the way to Mexico City. Are there some pilots who probably could in real life? I would imagine so, but I certainly am not a real-world pilot. If everything fell apart, I would probably just end the stream and go like, yeah, I can't, there's no way I'm going to try to fly this thing at 42,000 feet and manage everything on my own. So this part is not a big deal that you're allowing the autopilot. The systems are basically flying the plane, which allows me to kind of just, I can look around, and we can go outside here and have a look, you know, at the plane, all that, because I'm not worried about the plane being flown. So yeah, don't think that you can't do it. You can. It just takes the practice. Just, you know, what I notice some people do when they're learning, if they're showing how, you know, just practicing it, just find a route. It doesn't have to be very long, maybe no more than an hour. Just put it in, fly it, and just keep working through the issues. Keep practicing. You'll get better at it, and then before you know it, you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so, and just keep flying that same route until you get comfortable with the plane. Okay. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And I don't think I'm like the greatest pilot ever in the history of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Mick will tell you that it's skill more than luck, and I think it's more luck than skill. But you just, once you get comfortable and you know the systems, whenever something happens, you're like, I already know what to do. And what training you've had kind of takes over, and you're just like, I can do this. And there you go. You turn in and you let your co-pilot handle all the radio traffic, so all you have to worry about is flying the plane and managing everything else, and you're good to go. So don't think that you can't do it, because you can. If I can do it, you can do it. There you go. That's your positive spiel for the day. There you go. That's exactly what Mick said. Thank you, sir. Yep. Just take a deep breath and go like, okay, I feel like I'm fairly confident. I know what to do. Even if something happens to this plane, everything that I know from the A320, I know what to do. You know, because usually it's the stuff happens in flight sim when you're getting ready to land. That's when things kind of go crazy, even if you don't have the crazy stuff turned on, like all the failures and stuff like that. Yeah, just, you know, but get that Jetliner Academy, download the or go to their website and get all the stuff, you know. It doesn't cost, that part doesn't cost you anything. Just go get that information. A matter of fact, if nothing else, I know I did a video on it. And that was probably back in August. Go look in like September, I think. Not August, September. Maybe August or September. I did do a video where I went through all that stuff. Okay. It might be 2 videos for it, because I think I did like the takeoff, you know, the startup, taxi, takeoff, climbing, and then the second video was like, then we go into the you know, cruise, descent, approach, landing. So if you want to get an idea of, just look in my library. It's going to be way back in either like late August, early September, I think, sometime. I can't remember the dates exactly, but yeah, if you just want to get an idea of what to expect, then you could do that. But it has been updated since I did the video. I think they made a few changes, but I don't know what exactly. But it should be fairly, pretty much what I did there. It should be just about the same, I think. So.
Heavy contact.
Well, we're still talking to Houston Center. Houston's like way behind us.
Going to 128.3 UA1085 heavy.
So I guess we're not heading over the
Houston Center UA1085 heavy flight
Gulf of
level
Mexico.
20.
UA1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned.
Hello, unfitted. Boy, I don't. Where do you guys come up with these names? Unfitted noise? Like, okay. Hello. Oh, I think we can turn off. We're cruising now. We can let the passengers move about the cabin.
UA1085 Heavy, contact Houston Center on 127.8. Good day.
I can't believe we're talking to Houston Center.
UA1085 heavy. Houston Center UA1085 heavy flight level 420.
UA1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned.
So our HECAG. So let's have a look. Looking for Dara 1 Alpha. I have a bad feeling. Darn Salsa. Darn. Okay, we've got a problem. All right, let's take a look at this here, folks. Now, this is why you got to check your stuff. Check yourself before you end up getting wrecked yourself. All right, so if you'll notice, we have on the top of this page here, we have Dara N Salza, and then these numbers, right? So there's MX713, right? 715 ALMIS 717 goes back to Sutas to Darin. And then those numbers again a second time. And then we finally start to descend into Alright, so what does that tell us? We have essentially a broken flight plan. Now, we're 485 nautical miles out. Let's see how far, if we zoom out, how far can we see ahead of us? 160, 320, 640. Okay. So that doesn't really tell us much. So we have to wait till we get to Lexux. And then once we get to Darin the first time, which is that's our like arrival portion of our flight. So what it looks like in our little system right here is that we get to Darin, we fly to a certain point, and then we're going to turn around, go back to Darin, and then fly again. Now that might be, let's see, hold on a second. Let me look at that approach. Let's have a look-see here. Okay, I'm looking, so the information I have, it doesn't look like there's like a circular, like we would go to a point, we'd have to circle, basically do a lap, and then continue to descend into the airport. Okay, so it seems like, at least in Microsoft Flight Simulator's flight plan building system, there's a glitch. Okay, so what we're going to do is, if we start to see that point where it looks like we're going to have to go around in the circle, and there's no telling how, right now it looks like it would only be one, like one lap. Okay, but we're going to bypass that. What we're going to do is we're going to click on, once we get closer and we see if that's what it looks like is going to happen, and it may not, but we're going to plan ahead by looking at our information here. What we'll do is we'll click on the waypoint marker, and we'll just try to cut out that lap, basically, because there's nothing to indicate in what I'm looking at for the approach or our arrival, basically, portion of the flight, that we would need to go around in a circle and then get ready to, on the second, as we end that lap and we go back. So we're going to be prepared for that. That's one of those other important things. You cannot expect that everything, when you build because it's harder to build it in the, you could do, there's other, like SimBrief, you can bring it over through SimBrief if you're on the PC side. I know a lot of pilots use SimBrief for their flights, but for us, we're kind of stuck with this way of doing things. So we're going to keep an eye out as soon as we get to that. Once we get closer here, we got quite a bit of ways to go still. Then we'll know for sure. We'll look at that flight plan, and I'm not trying to ignore the chat, so don't. if you're posting any questions or whatever, I'm looking at my other information that I use. So, so we will plan ahead. We may not need to worry about it, but we're going to plan for a problem. So always check whenever you're looking at, don't just take this for granted. Look in here and say, okay, I have to look and make sure all the information is in here correctly. Okay. And if you start to see doubles of things, like we saw the double of Darren and all that, then we know we may be facing a problem. 717. It's okay.
UA 108 Flight Heavy, contact Houston Center on 128.3.
Sutas, and then okay. From Sutas, that's where we're probably going to have a problem. So 717 Sutas.
UA 1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned. UA 1085 Heavy, contact Houston Center on 127.8. Good day.
127.8 for UA.
All right, so looks like based on what I'm looking at,
Houston Center UA 1085 Heavy, flight level 420.
So after Sutas, that's where we're going to need to probably bypass a bunch of stuff. Okay. So we'll know that as soon as we get in there what we're going to have to do.
Houston Center UA 1085 Heavy, flight level 420.
UA 1085 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned.
As a matter of fact, we'll just go keep this out at about 160 nautical miles so that we can see things. All right, so we'll keep that handy. Oh, bye, Milla. I'll see you later. Okay. My flight trainer said he must have clear vision. Yeah, always. You have to kind of, don't expect that everything's going to go according to plan. Yeah, sorry, Bill, I didn't see you. I was busy trying to look to see what's happening, but I do hope you have a good day. Catch you later somewhere. Good looking honky. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. We do try to fly 7 days a week, my schedule permitting, my appointment schedule permitting. So so yeah, don't just assume that everything is going to go. Now, it's better to think that we may have a problem and then we don't have one. At least we're prepared to deal with it. Okay, so so always, don't expect that. So it's 901. Okay, now I need to look for that one. Let's see here. Oops. There's 900. Hold on a second. Let's go back here. page, we should see. Okay, goes. See, this takes us into a different.
UA 1085 heavy contact Monterey Center on 125.6.
Alright, that's Monterey, Mexico.
Going to 125.6 UA 1085 heavy. Monterey Center UA 1085 heavy flight level 420.
UA 1085 heavy Monterey Center. Continue as planned.
Well, like I said, we'll know more when we get. We want to get to past. Well, once we get to Darren, then we'll know what we need to plan for. So, hello, Florencia. Well, I think it's pretty close to real, although we're not, not every knob and button and everything is going to work like it would in the real aircraft. That's, from my understanding, if you want more of, all the switches, I think, my understanding is X-Plane 11 and maybe even X-Plane 12 is supposed to be closer to reality. Like it's a bit more in depth than Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, of course, there's I think on the PC side, some of the aircraft are a bit more in depth. Like the DC-6 is certainly going to be more in depth than the startup and flying it and everything. But I like it. I mean, it's the only thing that I don't like, to be honest, is that there's a feeling, and this has been discussed in detail on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forums, that the Xbox side of the sim is not receiving the same sort of attention as the PC side has been getting. We don't have a lot of choices when it comes to planes. Stuff you think that it works and that it doesn't, or that it will work, or in the case of the what do you call it? In the case of the Eurofighter, it was completely useless. Like, you would spawn in, you would be like on the parking ramp, and you'd get ready to start the plane up, and as soon as you spawned in, then bam, it crashed the game. So Braddock had to basically rewrite the model of the plane completely. So that was a huge issue, but they got it done fairly quickly. I was surprised that they got it done as fast as they did. So on the Xbox side, it seems whenever there's updates, something that worked suddenly doesn't work anymore, and it's like a never-ending thing. Now, one of the things that I've been thinking about is, okay, Microsoft, it would be great if Microsoft came out and said, yeah, we kind of screwed the pooch on this, which they would never do. They wouldn't admit that they, got this completely wrong. So, and that the console side was ambitious, but are they going to invest to actually fix it and give Asobo the tools that they need to fix it? And my feeling is the answer is going to be no. So we're kind of stuck with what we know works, and Hello, Mr. Addies. How are you? Nice to see you. I hope you are feeling better. Where's it going? So, do we just take what we've got and just, my concern is I don't want to keep flying the same stuff, okay? Because that's going to get boring after a short while, okay? So that makes it harder to do things, to plan, that sort of thing. I've heard great things about it. I don't have a PC system, so I can't really try both and everything. So it's I can't do both. I wish the X-Plane 11 would be available on the Xbox, because then at least we know we could get a better idea of, how that works on the Xbox. But I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator would allow X-Plane to be sold on the Xbox. Anyway. Yeah, we know we'll get, at some point today, there will be an updated roadmap sort of thing. Many people in the forums feel like the Xbox problem is not going to be addressed during, on the roadmap or any kind of live stream Q&A with the folks from Asobo, and it's really not on them. It should really be on Microsoft to yeah. Anyways, I'd like to be able to get a PC in the future, but at the same time, does it, I spent, I got the game here on the Xbox. Why should I have to go to a PC side in order to get more planes, hopefully a better experience? Although I see so many times that people are struggling with the sim on the PC side, more so than on the Xbox. So it's very difficult to say. I will be right back, folks.
UA1085 heavy contact Monterey Center on 124.5. Good day.
124.5 for UA1085 heavy. Monterey Center UA1085 heavy flight level 420.
UA1085 Heavy Monterey Center, continue as planned.
All right. So we are essentially let's see, we're at 160. All right. So we, yeah. just keep that out here. Hopefully. All right, so at least we're going to be prepared. We're going to just have that good idea of what to expect, and we'll go from there once we start our arrival portion of the flight, which should be Darren. Now, yeah. Now, of course, when you build the flight plan using the world map in the simulator, especially here on the Xbox side, you won't always know that there's going to be a problem. It's not until you're flying. So it's always good to check to see, if you look in your little computer system here, to look to see if there's any doubles of markers and stuff, and that way you know that you're going to have to bypass some things and all that. So we'll know more as we get a little bit closer here. So I do appreciate, wow, 13 likes. I think that's the most I've had. Over 1,000 playbacks. Wow. Let's have a looky here. Curious to see the I think it was up to 181 on that long flight from the 31st. Yeah, 181 views on that flight on the 31st, going from Heathrow to JFK. So I do greatly appreciate that. Was not expecting this today. I don't know what I did or didn't do. I don't know, maybe having the day off yesterday worked wonders. But I do appreciate that. That is, thank you. That has turned things around. So I do appreciate all the thumbs up, appreciate the views. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer Mick, we appreciate you. Mick is my first officer for today. He's my #1 first officer. Amelo is a close second. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, just kind of give you a rundown on how my channel runs. Okay, so 7 days a week I try to oh, there is a sun shield, but we can't use that either. That's a bummer. So yeah, Sunday to Sunday, we do try to do flight sim. Of course, that's dependent on my appointment schedule and everything. Either the flight will be canceled outright, or it'll be later in the morning, or sometimes earlier. Like tomorrow's flight will start at 5 a.m. East Coast time, so that's 10 a.m. UK time. In February, for the first, let's see, hold on a second, let me look at my calendar here so I can tell you exactly. So February 4th, 11th, and 18th, we are going to do viewer requested flights. Only one. I'm not going to do like fly all day on that Friday. Okay, that's not not very reasonable for me to do. So I will, towards the end of the month, we're going to do a long flight on the 28th. We're going to go from JFK to Frankfurt in the 747, okay? So that's going to be at least an 8-hour, 9-hour flight, all right? 9-hour stream. Okay, we're going to start it up. We'll taxi out, take off, make our way towards Frankfurt. So that's going to be the last Friday of the month. So the last Friday of February, I will do a long flight, roughly about 8 hours, okay? And that's a lot in one sitting, okay? So if you're going to come in, I do appreciate people coming in, hanging out, saying hello, and all that. So if you're going to request a flight, it's first come, first serve. Whoever gets it in when I call for that first Friday of February, whoever tells me I need your takeoff, your departure airport and the arrival airport, okay, within reason. Okay, within reason. I'm going to the long flight is reserved for the last Friday of the month, so I'm looking for no more than 3 hours. Okay. So whoever gets me that information, and I will check it while we're flying, I will take a look to say, okay, yeah, we can do this. Now, if I can't do that particular airport, either the departure or the destination, I will try to find a suitable alternate. Okay. If you don't agree to that, then we'll put it up for somebody else can submit something. Okay. And then we'll try that one. So I will try to, if I have to compromise, because I have to look at the two airports, I have to figure out what kind of plane I'm going to fly between those two airports. All right. So I know some people want to see their home country. Don't just think about your home country. Think about some place you really want to see that you may not ever get a chance to see. Okay. Think outside of your home country. All right. That's my advice. But if you really want it and I can do it, I will do it. But try to think of places that you've never seen before that you want to see. Okay. So don't just think about, oh, I want to see these two airports. Give me something different. Okay. But if that's what you really want, I'll try to do it. But try to think out, because we can fly technically all over the world. All right. But I need give me that information and I will look it up, and if I can do it, then we're in business. All right. Secondly, every stream that I do, I try to put in the plane that we're flying in, our departure area, like the city at least, or the airport name, and our destination airport, including the country. Okay. If you're not sure about countries, you can say, what country is this in? That's fine. But all the information is in the title and the description of the video. Okay. So that should. Hola, mi amor. You are just in time. We are that close to Mexico City. How are you? I am happy to see you here. So if you have a question about the plane, now this could be a very decent replica of a 777-300ER. But if you really want to know how it looks in real life, just Google it, okay? I mean, this may be, like I said, this may be a fairly decent representation. I don't know what is all correct on here and what isn't. So, I don't know. You know, I don't know. So, you know, asking to see the plane is fine, but you know, if you want to know really what the plane looks like in real life, I would highly recommend you just Google it. Okay, I can't tell you for sure that Captain Sim got this 100% spot on. I don't think they did, because even like the tail light, you know, the lights that light up our logo on the tail, the light is normally there on the there's usually one here and one over here to light up each side. You don't see that light sort of thing on that area, do you? But you may see a light reflecting. So yeah. So yeah, don't, you know, I can't verify that this is 100% accurate. So even though I don't mind showing you, but if you really want to know what it looks like in real life, that's the best bet. So anyway, so all right, so we're almost at the area where we are maybe expecting some kind of issue. So we're still kind of moving along here, but we will know more here very soon. So it is nice to see you here, Doris. I am very happy to have you here in the chat. Do say hello to Mick, please, and thank you. You two shy kids can say hello. I know you're probably still all right, well, Florencia, I get that, but well, a couple things. One, we're not ready to talk about those flights just yet. I will. Hello. So it won't be to the end of the month that I'll ask for that flight. Okay, so you're a little bit ahead of the curve. I don't have what we have for airline liveries is very limited on the Xbox side. So can I fly on Saudia? I think we have what's it called? I don't think we have Saudi Air, but we have I can't remember the name of it. Starts with an E, I think. Or no, is it E? No, we're very limited on the airline names and liveries. Okay, so that's part of the problem. Flying the destinations, as long as I know, like, so you said Ethiopia, right? HAAB. All right, so let me look, just out of curiosity. I don't know what sort of airport size they have.
Contact Mexico Center on 126.6. Good day.
126.6 for UA 1085 Heavy.
All right, 12,000 foot runway, both of them. So it's possible to do a flight into that airport in the 777-300ER. But that's, yeah, we're not ready quite yet to accept you want to be, oh, well, I guess you got to stay in school and apply for your flying schooling and everything else, and there you go. Okay, so Lexus is our next marker after we get past. Well, it's the marker there in front of us. That is right there. All right, so let's just zoom out just a smidge. It's still too far to get an idea of what we're going to be looking at. So once we get past Lexus to Darren, that's when we're going to know for sure what sort of issues we might be running into. Yeah, I don't know how how it works to become a pilot for them. I guess you would have to go to, you know, apply for flight training and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I don't really, I can't say for certain how it would work. So anyway, going back to what you said, Florencia, so it's possible to do, but yeah, I want to get through January 1st, you know, the flights that we've got planned for this month, and then when I'm doing that long flight from JFK to Frankfurt, if you're in the chat, and you know, when I open it up, whoever gives me a flight during that flight, I will look at it. If I can do it, then that'll be the one on the I think it's going to be the 4th of February. Yeah. And then what we may do is whoever is the first one on the 4th, then whoever puts one in, I'll anyway, so yeah, then do you have a no? I don't have a checklist. Thank you for the subscription. I don't. That's the other thing on the sim. So I guess we're just having all kinds of conversations today, which is fine. Not all the checklists that you have. So like if I pull up the checklist here, right? All that stuff may not go or may not work. Okay. Thank you for the subs. Appreciate that. You can't rely on the checklist. So because sometimes even if you go by this, you know, there's ways to do it automatically. Sometimes that doesn't work. So I figured out the way to start up the plane without using that checklist. You know, like we did today. You don't always have to use the checklist. Oh, Bomb. Well, thank you, Bomb. Nice to meet you too. So yeah, I wouldn't always rely on the checklist. You know, there's plenty of videos out there that I think will kind of go over the startup. I mean, this one isn't very difficult to figure out because the you know, some of it's already automated. So like your generators and stuff, like your alternators are already on. You just have to hit the battery on, and then do your external power while you're at the gate kind of thing. It's pretty simple to figure out. You know, you just have to know how to do it. Okay. And then you just, yeah, it's pretty standard. on how to do everything. So, but also know that not all the buttons are going to work. Yes, I am American. So, you know, just what I usually do before I fly, I will go, if it's been a while, like last night, I was...
1085 heavy contact Mexico Center on 126.0. Good day.
What I do is I go through the flight deck, I figure out where all the buttons are that I need to use, you know, where's the autopilot, my navigation buttons, you know, all that sort of stuff. Figure where all that is, and then we're good, you know. And then I just go through the startup procedure and I just work through it until I feel confident that I know how to start up the plane, where all the buttons are, the switches that I need to throw. So I always look for your power, your APU stuff, and then your fuel switches, your APU or your engine air bleed stuff, the starter engines are here, so you just need to throw those to start. And then you just look at the numbers here. So like if you're at the gate and you're starting up, when those numbers start moving, that's when you throw the switches right there, and then you're good to go. And then it should start to spool up. And then I know where Tunisia is. Yes, I know. I've not been there, but I know where Tunisia is. Yes. I'm guessing you're telling me you're from Tunisia. So, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's just that's what I do. I don't always rely on the checklists unless I know I can click everything to be done on the checklist. All right, so 25,000. We're at 42. So we can ask for a reduction by 7,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get that done.
Mexico Center, UA 1085 Heavy.
Oh.
Request flight level 350.
UA 1085 Heavy descend and maintain flight level 350.
So we'll do that first, and then we'll
Descend
go to...
and maintain flight level 350, UA 1085 Heavy.
Alright, there's that. So it'll start descending on its own. There we go. So, and then we'll ask for 250 next. Oh, very good. Amen. Hopefully it's a good experience for you.
UA 1085 Heavy, please expedite your descent, flight level 350.
Well, we just got started on our descent. Look at that. Our second coward of today posting garbage in my chat. All right, so once we get to 350, we'll go down. We'll request 250, and then we'll start looking at what we may have to contend with once we get closer to, or once we get past this marker here. So we will be waiting to see how things play out. And then we'll decide from there how we're going to handle this. All right. Wow. Must have gotten a... Normally they come on Mondays. It's interesting. Huh. Alright. So there we are at 350, essentially. Alright. Let's ask for a reduction to 250.
Mexico Center UA
There we go.
1085 Heavy. Request flight level 250.
UA-1085 Heavy descend and maintain flight level 250.
Descend and maintain flight level 250 UA-1085 Heavy.
Okay, so yeah, this is what it looks like. I can see that there is some sort of a problem here, right there. There's two lines, two flight paths right there. So yeah, this is going to be a problem, but that's okay. I'm at. Well, I'm heading down. I'm at, I was at 350, now I'm heading to 250. So, we're starting to descend into Mexico City here. So basically, we're preparing for our arrival portion of the flight. So you have your departure plan. So when we took off, so my departure plan was on using the BNDT Q5 left. So basically, when yeah, well, we could look at that another time. Okay, Amin. So anyway, so you have your departure plan from the airport. So basically you follow a certain path out of the airport. As you climb out, the airplane will either turn left or right or just go straight for, you know, a certain amount of time and distance. So now our arrival portion is somewhat similar, that from Darren, the point there in front of us, there's a specific path that the airplane is supposed to follow as we start to descend and prepare for the approach portion of the flight. So on the flight plan, the departure and arrival portions, I think the departure is like an orange color on the flight plan, and the arrival portion is like a light green color, and then the approach phase is like a magenta in color. So so let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more here. Oops, not out, in. Alright, so we still got to get to that point there, and then we're going to see the broken flight plan. Okay, so so we're going to have to contend with that. So now we're at flight level 250. So we're at a good spot, pretty much. And then we're just going to contend with what we know. All right, so if you see, just coming into the screen there. So it sends us one way. We're going to go kind of like over this way somehow, and then it will come back to this. So what we're going to look for is a point let's have a look here. Let's look at our airport information here. So what we may do is we want to maybe just cut from Darren, we'll go right to Almas. So we're going to cut out a bunch of this stuff right here. So 710, 712, 713. 710, 712, 713. And then let's see what's on the next page here. 715. So what we may do is we'll go direct here, and then it should pick up from there. Actually, we may just go direct to 717 there.
125.1 UA 1085 Heavy. Mexico Center UA 1085 Heavy flight level 250.
UA 1085 Heavy Mexico Center. Continue to Darren as planned.
So you'll see that's the mix-up that we've got to deal with. See it right there? It's like this crazy figure eight sort of thing. Let's see if we zoom out a little bit more and wait for that all to kind of come into focus. We can do that. So yeah, so we're gonna see. We're gonna try to kind of head towards the airport, and then we're gonna cut out that whole mess as much as we can. Well, there's no real checklist per se. What I just do is I follow the markers, the altitudes and stuff like that. So I don't, you don't. That's the on the Xbox side of things. There is no real, like, some of the aircraft have like a checklist. You do the startup and all that. You do your taxi checklist. You do your takeoff checklist, and once you're in the air, you do that checklist. That's that's not for every aircraft in the sim that we would have to worry about that. So I do get what you're saying, but yeah, we don't. That it's not available for everyone. I just go with what I know, and that's it. So, but I've learned, you know, now it may be that this flight plan will take care of itself, you know, if I let it go as according to plan. But what I fear the problem is going to be is that it will just be like this continuous loop. We'll never get into our actual approach phase. Okay, so that's why I kind of wanted to see, you know, what are we looking at possibly happening here, and that is one of the things that we, yeah, Amin, trust me, I've got this. Okay, I know what I'm doing. It may not seem like it right now, but I can assure you, I can land the plane just fine. Thank you. So we're to see. Let's see here. So it looks like, so we're going to go here. There's that marker. And then it's like we're going to go almost all the way there, but then somewhere as we get like right over here somewhere, it shoots us back to here. And I don't know if that means we have to go through all this again. So we're just, once we get to Almas, we're just going to try to cut out. We're going to keep an eye out for the marker that is going to send us back to Darren. And we're going to bypass that one and try to go to the very next marker. Okay. So let's go ahead and tell the passengers they need to sit down and prepare for landing. Get our landing lights on now, just because we like a well-lit plane. So we're going to continue to descend along these markers, right? So it's like we're going to go straight, it looks like. So yeah, so once we get to Darren, it does turn back towards. So it's like I kind of feel like there's going to be this continuing loop. So we're going to get to Almas, and then whatever the next marker is beyond Almas, we're gonna start. We're gonna go to that next marker. We're just gonna put that in. We'll hit that marker in the system here, and bypass that mess, and then we should be set to go. So that's at 40 nautical miles on the screen here. Yeah, that list looks like a hot mess coming up. So it's always good to check this. Check this part, and then you won't really know what it looks like until you get closer to your destination. Now we will be returning to Mexico City a couple times. We will be taking the 777 freighter down here sometime later this month, and also one of our scenic Sundays we will do a flight around Mexico City itself. We'll take off and have a nice flying tour of Mexico City, see some of the sights in the area. Well, I will do my best. I can assure you. I don't ever plan on crashing. Sometimes it does happen. So, all right, here we go. So let's go down to 21,000 feet.
Mexico Center, UA 1085 Heavy. Request flight level 210.
UA 1085 Heavy descent and maintain flight level 210.
Descend and maintain flight level 210 UA 1085 Heavy.
UA 1085 Heavy descent.
Wow, all the way to
Maintain
11,000 feet. Wow,
Descend
okay.
and maintain 11,000 feet UA 1085 Heavy.
That's interesting. That's a lot lower than I expected at this point.
UA 1085 Heavy, please expedite your descent 11,000 feet.
Mick. Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Mick. Mick has been here from the start of my Microsoft Flight Simulator journey.
UA 1085 Heavy descent and maintain 17,000 feet.
Okay, that's kind of odd.
Descend and maintain 17,000 feet UA 1085 Heavy.
I would say 11 and then go to 17. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so let's have a look here again. So yeah, it looks like Almas is the offending marker. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to MX717 and cut out that nonsense. So once we get a little bit closer to Almas, then we'll go right to, we'll put in the go to marker or go to request. Alright, we still got to descend a little bit more and then we'll go to we got to go past 185, flight level 185. Handling, well, if you can make it, Amin, you're more than welcome to. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to be here for every live stream. I don't expect that. That's not always, you know, life happens, so don't, you know, you don't have to be here for everything. You know, you can always watch the video on replay if you can't be here. It's perfectly fine. It's a bit unreasonable for me to expect that everybody can be here. I do appreciate all of the views today. I was not expecting that, so thank you, everybody. Alright, so we have our speed brakes armed, we have our auto brakes set. We started to slow down. So now we're just descending. So I don't think this is going to be 29 or 87. I'm thinking it's going to be more like 29 or maybe even 3000. But once we get below 185, flight level 185, then we'll we should get an updated altimeter reading. So. And we'll slow down to 210. Now what we can do is we can look at, let's go to our, this page, approach. So we're looking at 160 knots. We're just gonna, that's our target speed for our landing. All right, so we are so what we'll do is once we go past, we won't see that decel marker. That's when we are going to have to be at a lower speed. So as soon as we go to flight level 170, okay, there we go. All right, 2908, was it 2987? Yeah, all right. So we're below that. So let's see if it should give.
1085 heavy contact approach on 129.65. Good day.
Going to 129.65 UA 1085 heavy. Approach UA 1085 heavy is passing 17,400 feet, descending 17,000 feet.
Should get an altimeter. There we go.
Approach altimeter 30.25. Continue to Almies as planned.
All right, so there's Almies right there. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go bypass Almies. We're going to hit MX717. No, actually we can't do that. No. I got to zoom. Got to be able to see this. We got to get a little bit closer to it.
UA 1085 heavy descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Keep speed not above 210 knots.
All right, let's go ahead and dial into 210.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Keep speed not above 210.
Actually, we can go ahead. Yeah, there we go. All right. Just have a look here. SMOs, our marker that we want to go to. All right.
UA 1085 heavy, please expedite your descent 14,000 feet.
All right, so what we did is we cut that out. We're going right to SMO. And so then we should be set up for the remainder of the flight. We cut out all the problematic stuff. Okay. So there we go.
UA1085 Heavy, you are 17 miles northwest.
There we go. All right, so we cut out that mess.
9,700 feet, keep speed not above 160 knots, expect ILS runway 05 right approach via Sierra Mike Oscar transition. Clear to Sierra Mike Oscar.
Descend and maintain 9,700 feet. Keep speed not above 160 knots. Expect ILS runway 05 right approach via Sierra Mike Oscar transition. Clear to Sierra Mike Oscar UA1085 Heavy.
Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, wait a second. Oh, did it? Okay, it's taking us... Alright. I thought for sure it was taking us back towards the way we don't want to go. Which way are we going? Which way are we going? I kind of feel like it's going... Yep, alright, 77 mechs, that's what we want. It didn't take. Alright, let's try this then. There we go. Alright, now we should be back in business. It still was wanting us to go back towards the way we came. So now it should be cleared out, that problem. Oh, next live stream tomorrow is in the A320, Amen. You haven't missed much of anything. We're just trying to get things lined up for the landing. So we had a bit of a broken flight plan, the arrival and everything. So I think we have finally dealt with that appropriately. Though it seems to want to
UA1085 Heavy descend and maintain 8,900 feet.
Descend and maintain 8,900 feet. UA1085 Heavy.
UA1085 Heavy, you are 8 miles west of Mexico City. Contact
it's
Mexico
taking us
Tower
back there again. Doggone it.
Tower on 118.55 UA1085 Heavy.
Alright, hold on a second.
Mexico Tower UA1085 Heavy, 8 miles west inbound ILS runway 05 right approach.
UA1085 Heavy, Mexico Tower. Altimeter 30.25, wind 106 at 7. Cleared ILS runway 05 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 05 right approach UA1085 Heavy.
Okay. Still showing. Come on. Why is it doing this? It's still wanting to go back to darn. I can't get it to, it's not going. Nope. Doggone it. It's not letting me fix it. Oh, crap. Alright, well, that didn't work according to plan. We're not at 2,500 feet. We're at 10,000.
2,500.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Shoot. All right, there we go. Maybe now it'll clear that out and we can get ready to land. Man, this has been a real pain in the butt. Oh, crap. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. No, 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 no. Oh, crap. All right, we're going to crash. We're going to end up crashing here.
500. 400.
Yep.
300.
This did not go according to plan.
150. 30.
Yep. Oh, God.
20. 10.
Well, we landed somewhere in Mexico. Oh, my goodness. All right, well, that did not work like I had thought it would. I was hoping we were going to cut out all the issues. Well, so there was a problem, as I've tried to explain before. We had the way our arrival in the airport was it was broken. We had multiple, it was going to be almost like a continuous circle. Now, I looked online to see what, if we had like a track approach where we had to basically circle before we went into our full approach mode, that we did like a portion where we would go around and then we would get into our approach and everything would be fine. It did not seem like that was going to be the case. Okay, so I was trying to fix the problem manually and direct us to out of the broken area of the flight plan, and that didn't work. So anyway, that is, sometimes that happens. So unfortunately, I was trying to get it corrected, but we were losing altitude way too fast. It was like it had its own, it had a mind of its own. Anyway, sorry that did not go according to plan, but I do appreciate everybody coming in today. So sorry that it did not meet the snuff, meet the standard. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'll have to look at that, why that happened. It just seemed like there was an issue, and I don't know if it's the plane or I don't know if it's something else. But anyway, there we are. We landed somewhere in the hills of Mexico City, not on the runway that we wanted to land on. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I do appreciate everybody coming in. Sorry it was not a good landing like I had hoped for. So anyway, take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I will see you all tomorrow, bright and early, A320. We're going from Islamabad to Multan. And I will see you all then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. Live long and prosper.